Have you ever loaded a quilt onto your long arm, started quilting, and then discovered that you're fighting with skipped stitches or broken threads or frankly just stitches that don't look quite right? It might be your needle, it might be your thread or your tension, but it might also be something very much simpler. Your quilt might just be loaded and stretched too tightly on the long arm. This is one of those surprisingly common mistakes that can create all sorts of quilting headaches. And it's especially easy to do because instinctively we think tighter must be better. So today I'm going to show you why that's not necessarily true, what actually happens when a quilt is under too much tension, and a simple gauge to tell you when you've got it loaded just right. Here I am freshly loading a new quilt onto my long arm. So this is the backing that I'm rolling on, beautifully flat and smooth. Then I'll lay on the batting layer and the quilt top and baste around the exposed area. So now I've got a flat working surface. And here's the gauge for measuring. With my fingertips straight up, I'll poke them from underneath the quilt and I should be able to grasp my fingertips almost to the first knuckle. So that's a relaxed enough quilt to work on. I'm going to rewind it and loosen it a little so you can see it soft and floppy, and then watch me wind it just tight enough to hold the quilt flat and smooth, loose enough that there's some flex there. Remember, it's not a drum we're beating, it's a quilt we're tightening. Next, you want to put clamps on the side edges of your quilt that provide similar soft tension from side to side. I'm using the Red Snapper brand E-Edge clamps, but whatever side clamping apparatus you use, it should still be that soft, not too tight tension. So I apply my clamps first and then my stretchy side black grips that attach to the frame of my long arm rail. And that tension is again soft and relaxed. So let me show you the side clamps with a little better view. I'm slipping the edge of the fabric into my E-Edge clamp, and that red cord is fixed and then the black one is stretchy. So I connect it first and then pull on that black elastic cord until there's just a little tension. I can still put my fingertips up underneath that quilt and grasp my fingertips. That, my friend, is the perfect tension. Now we're looking at a different quilt on a different day, but I'm going to show you how the same principles apply and then talk you through some of the why. But on this quilt, again, I'm tucking my fingers up from underneath with my fingertips straight up, and I'm able to grasp my fingertips almost to that first knuckle, even with my quilt fully loaded and my side clamps on, so that gentle tension in all directions is perfect. Now let's watch a little quilting while we talk about why the correct amount of tension is so important. When we're quilting in a long arm machine, we're stitching at fairly high speeds, and the needle going in and out of the fabric while we're moving the machine causes a little bit of flex in that needle with every single stitch. And a too tight fabric starts to interfere with that. And some of the problems that result are skipped stitches or broken shredded threads, or even, in extreme cases, a broken needle. So we have to kind of rein this in because our natural tendency is to tighten down that quilt really hard, thinking that the more tension the better, because then we'll get a smooth, pucker-free, wrinkle-free quilt. That's only good so far. There's balance in this as there is in many things. So use that gauge of your fingertips to really judge the correct tension of the quilt, relaxed enough that the needle can smoothly and freely stitch in and out of it, just tight enough to reduce the incidence of pleats or puckers anywhere in the quilt top or the quilt back. If you're finding this helpful, I'd love to know. Leave me a comment below and let me know, were you taught to load your quilt drum tight? Or have you already discovered that a little flexibility and softness actually quilts better? I do read every comment and I'll do my best to answer every one of your questions too. One other thing that I'd like to say about troubleshooting or problem solving in general. There are many, many factors that affect stitch formation. And it's important when you are trying to troubleshoot that you test one variable at a time. So how tight your quilt sandwich is just one variable. But know that troubleshooting will always work best when you change one thing at a time and then figure out if that's what's causing your problem or not. In my Free Motion Quilting Masterclass, which is my signature course, I mainly teach different freehand quilting designs similar to the one that I'm quilting here. But all of that beautiful quilting is really built on a strong foundation. Knowledge of how to do things is one thing, but understanding why is ultimately what helps you make wise decisions in your own quilting. And it helps you to avoid many quilting problems. Lots of quilting issues don't just have one possible cause. So the real skill is in learning how to observe what's happening and eliminate the possibilities one by one and make adjustments as needed. If this video has saved you even one afternoon of unnecessary frustration, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and I'll catch up with you next time in the quilting studio.